This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 2461, a thoughtful guide on how to be more confident by Joshua Becker of Becoming Minimalist.com. And I'm your narrator, Justin Malik. This is where I share one article a day with permission from the authors to help both of us find more happiness, be more productive, and today be more confident. So without further ado, let's get right to the post and start optimizing your life. A thoughtful guide on how to be more confident by Joshua Becker of Becoming Minimalist.com. Quote, "Too many people overvalue what they are not and undervalue what they are." Malcolm S. Forbes. The importance of learning how to be more confident in our lives cannot be overstated. It is, after all, a lack of confidence that causes our lives to be tossed to and from by the sway of culture. From the very beginning, we see the harmful effects of low confidence on our decision-making process, while the fear of rejection becomes an all too common presence in our lives. It causes many to adopt the values of the group and engage in otherwise undesired behavior. Simply put, the need for love, belonging, and acceptance becomes stronger than the internal compass within us, and many unhealthy life choices begin to emerge. In adolescence, this need for acceptance begins to show itself in substance abuse, underage drinking, dangerous sexual practices, or mischievous behavior. As we get older, some of these habits remain, but new ones begin to emerge. The desire to find acceptance by impressing those around me with my possessions begins to motivate aspects of my life. And whether it be a certain home size, vehicle model, fashion trend, or latest technology, many of our purchases are made with a simple desire to keep up with the neighbors and not be regarded as falling behind. Our need to impress and be accepted becomes more important than wise spending habits. But self-confidence redirects our life. It begins to realign our desires with the unique heart inside us. It allows us to reject the trends of a culture built on consumption. When it is present in our lives, we begin to believe that we exist for a greater purpose than shopping on Black Friday. The need to impress others with our belongings is replaced by an internal desire to follow our heart and soul. And to embrace the desires deep in our soul is to reject the notion of shopping for acceptance. To recenter your life, learn how to be more confident, and embrace a healthy view of self-confidence, consider these practical tips. Number 1, stop comparing yourself. Reject the desire to compare yourself to others. When we compare ourselves to others, we always contrast the worst things we know about ourselves to the best things we know about others. The inevitable outcome always leaves us with feelings of inadequacy and despair. Become wiser. Tell yourself that you can't possibly be making a fair comparison and reject the idea altogether. Number 2, celebrate your uniqueness. Your life was never meant to be lived like everyone else. You don't look the same, you don't sound the same, your talents aren't the same, and your deep-held values are unique. Throwing that away just for the sake of being accepted by others is one of the cruelest things that you can ever do, and it will always prevent you from fully living your life. Instead, champion the things that make you unique and find confidence in them. Number 3, focus on the positives. Change your thinking. Focus less on the negatives and more on the positives. Stop dwelling on the negative messages of the past and begin centering yourself on the positive traits in your life today. Number 4, see past failures as learning opportunities. We've all tried and failed at some point in our lives. Confident people look back at failures and view them as learning experiences. In that way, failures can actually provide greater self-confidence moving forward. Learn from your mistakes and try again. Remember that it's not over when you lose, it's over when you quit. Number 5, help someone. One of the most important steps to finding self-confidence in your life is to give yourself to others. Serving another person almost always results in the healthy realization that you are important in this world, that you have something to offer, and that the world is more beautiful because of your presence. See a need around you, whether it be a need for time, finances, or a listening ear, meet it today. And the life you change just may be your own. Number 6, begin realizing a life goal. Intentionally and specifically, begin working towards a life goal. Know that taking the first step is a momentum builder and can generate confidence in your life. This is a powerful difference between I want to and I'm beginning to. So write the first page, run the first mile, or meet the first person. You know what you want to accomplish, and you know what the first step is. Stop telling yourself it's out of reach and take the first step. Number 7, accept your weaknesses. While dwelling on our weaknesses leads to a lack of self-confidence, accepting them is an important step in developing it. First, it keeps us from unhealthy delusions of grandeur. It embraces that we are not perfect and forces us to live our lives in a healthy need for others. Secondly, it provides us with the foundation to accept failures when they arise. We're not caught off guard when we fail. Instead, we're simply again reminded of our need for others to complement our weaknesses. And number 8, be known and loved. There's no greater key to self-confidence than being intimately known and genuinely loved by another. Allowing another human being into the deepest depths of our heart is one of the single most difficult acts in the world today. But doing it and being loved despite of it breathes life into our soul and builds confidence in our innermost being. And this confidence continues to grow as the commitment to each other deepens. And on a related note, take a moment this week to better know and love your child. It's one of the greatest gifts you can ever give them. Intentionally working on how to be more confident will provide you motivation to pursue your passions. It provides the foundation to reject the claims of a consumerist culture. And it provides the incentive to live the life you've always wanted to live. You just listened to the post titled, A Thoughtful Guide on How to Be More Confident by Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com. And thank you to Joshua. I would imagine a lack of confidence is something we've all experienced at different times in our lives and at different levels. I think if alarm bells were ringing as you were hearing this article or even just a title, then it's something to really consider spending time working on. And it's not easy. There is no quick fix with self-confidence. It can take years of personal development, but that hopefully doesn't push us away from improving ourselves one day at a time. I know I deal with it myself, and while it's easy to hear about some of these tips, like focusing on the positive and celebrating uniqueness, actually putting it into practice is a different story. But there are things we can do to make it a little bit easier. First would be to not try all of these tips at once, but also not just hear about it and think, well, yeah, that's a good idea. We really have to think about what creates a spark within us that makes sense in our lives and run with it. Maybe it's helping someone. Maybe it's starting to realize a life goal. Whatever spoke to you, see if you can attempt one step in that direction today. And if it felt good and like something you want to continue, take another step tomorrow. One step at a time. And next thing you know, that self-confidence will have come a long way. So take that step. Thank you for being here. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.